Hey guys, I have my diffuser going right behind the camera, so hopefully that little noise isn't too loud. I'm not sure how much of it the microphone will pick up, but if you hear it, that's what it is. Hello, Marnie. She's very playful right now, as you can probably tell. I am a little bit under the weather. I've had a very long week. It's crazy because even the last video that I uploaded, I told you a little bit about the health update and like what was going on, but I didn't realize I was in the middle of the storm when I was telling you guys that because I thought I was better and I wasn't, and I ended up actually I won't even tell you because I think it's one of the questions, but because of everything going on, I've been really weak and I can't even really take a full breath right now without coughing. I think my inhaler, yeah, it's next to my bed, so if I need that, it's right there. I don't feel like I failed Vlogmas this year because I told myself I wanted to upload every other day, and it wasn't like I'm gonna vlog every single day until Christmas. I just wanted to upload content every other day, and I know I missed a few starting like a few days ago, and that is kind of when things went south health-wise, and I just couldn't keep up because of how sick I was. I'm gonna grind out these last few videos before Christmas, and to ease back into it, something easy that I figured I could kind of like handle right now with my health is a Q&A. We're gonna do just that. I posted on Instagram a few days ago. Make sure you're following me on Instagram if you're not. All my social media is always listed down below as well as on the screen. Before we get started, definitely give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, as well as subscribe. Guys, I don't know why, but 84% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. It doesn't make any sense. So if you are one of those many 84% viewers who are not subscribed but watching my content anyway, please subscribe. It'd mean a lot. You're here anyway, might as well hit that red button and turn on the notification bell. This notifies you every time I upload a new video, and I always shout out the first comment on my social media, so be sure to be following me on that as well. With all that being said, I was going to save this question for the last question. However, it was the most common question, and it's something that I wanted to start talking about at the beginning of this video anyway, and that is wanting a health update with everything going on this week, because I posted a ton about it on Instagram and Snapchat. Basically, I'm not gonna be able to film this video if Marnie keeps circling around me. You want attention, I can't give that to you right now. I'm sorry. Basically, to summarize, I got a pretty common infection not even a week ago. Like last Monday I woke up and I was like, ooh, I have an infection. So I went to the doctor and I got an antibiotic that I had been on in the past that gave me 0 issues, that I've taken multiple times for the same infection. This time when I took my first dose and then I went to sleep, I took the second dose right before bed. I woke up in the middle of the night, chills, fever, aches, like full on, just like I'm sick. I thought it was a weird coincidence. Like I was like, this is weird, but I was at a clinic the day before to get the antibiotics, so I was like, I probably just picked up a 24-hour bug. So I had a high fever of like 102, and I think I mentioned this in my other video that I just posted with the vlog about how to improve your intuition. As you can tell by that video, like it was a 24-hour bug. I thought I was doing better after it. I didn't take my antibiotic when I was sick because I was sleeping, I wasn't eating, and you have to take this pill with like a full meal and a full glass of water. So I was missing doses, and then as soon as I felt better, I think it was literally later that day that I was filming that video, I took again my second dose right before bed, and the same thing happened. I woke up, and this time I was at Tyler's house, but I woke up freezing, absolutely freezing, like chills, aches, and as soon as I woke up I was like, oh, a fever is coming. Of course, I woke up later in the morning with a fever. I felt so nauseous, like full on sick, and this is when I knew like it wasn't a 24-hour bug because it had come back, and that the only thing that I did the same both times was I took my antibiotic the way that I was supposed to. So I was like, I'm pretty sure my antibiotic is making me sick and that my body isn't tolerating it. What happened differently that last time too at Tyler's place is that I had chest pain, shortness of breath, could not breathe. It felt like I was trying to breathe out of a straw. Luckily I brought my inhaler, so I just like went into the living room so I wouldn't wake him up and just like hacked up a lung and took my inhaler. I couldn't even take my inhaler because when you take an inhaler, you have to like breathe in the medicine into your lungs, but when you're weak and like sick like how I was, I couldn't hold my breath, so I'd try to breathe and that would happen. So I couldn't ingest the medicine from my inhaler, and I just knew like I have to go to urgent care. When this was happening, I felt fluid in my lungs, and I felt like I was trying to like, this is kind of gross, but like cough up the fluid, and I couldn't. So I knew something was wrong. We went to urgent care. Basically, to summarize, oh my gosh, I can't believe I started that with basically, and then I rambled on forever about it, but it's a long story. Basically, my body wasn't tolerating my antibiotic, and it was making me sick, and so the antibiotic wasn't working properly, and the bacteria from the infection spread into my lungs, and I got pneumonia. So After a full week and many doctor appointments later and medication, I'm on a new antibiotic that doesn't have what I think my body isn't tolerating. It's like a certain type of medical ingredient that also cures pneumonia. So double duty pill, taking it for 7 days, can't drink while on it, so I'm having a sober Christmas for the first time in like 6 years. I'm okay with it. So that is an update on my health. It doesn't really have to do with my other health videos that I have posted about PCOS, but that is why I'm under the weather lately, all because of a very common infection that I get all the time. And the same medication that I get all the time, my body just decided to be super difficult this time and gave me pneumonia. If you want your week to go by super fast, get sick, because I lost an entire week of my life and I could have really used it before Christmas. I have a ton of Christmas shopping to do last minute. How are you, boo? I am doing great. This is like the best that I've done all week today, so things are looking up. Thank you for asking. Favorite vloggers. Lately, my ultimate favorite YouTuber right now is Yasmin Switzer. I don't really know her last name, but it's the teen mom Yasmin. She just had her second baby at 18, and her family, they're like a mini LeBron family, but not as saturated, if that makes sense. And they're just so down to earth, and their children are adorable. The teen mom community right now on YouTube is popping off. I watch them all. For some reason in my head I still feel like I'm their age, and then they'll say something like when they were born and I'll be like, oh my god, I forgot, I'm basically a boomer. Family channels, KK and Baby J, OG, Aspen and Parker. Claudia Salewski has been like my favorite since her Chicago days, so she's my main inspiration with YouTube. And lately I've been really loving Julia Christine. I've been subscribed to her forever. We met a few years ago at VidCon. Her content has improved and it's just been like amazing lately, so I've been obsessed with her week in my life videos. Probably like a million other YouTubers too, I just can't think of them right now, but oh, I mean the whole vlog squad, who doesn't? Carly and Aaron are like my favorite though. They were what introduced me to the vlog squad in like 2013. It was driving with Carly and Aaron, and then they would have all their little guests on, and that's how I met the vlog squad. I always have like a bigger place in my heart for Carly and Aaron for that. Can we hang in 2020? Girl, we should have been hanging in 2019 more, but yes, of course, we need to, like ASAP. If you could move anywhere in the US, where would you move? Definitely California, not so much like right in LA, but maybe on the outskirts. Is there a video you regret sharing on your YouTube channel? I have shared so much of my life online since I was technically in high school. I've shared so much that it's hard for me to ever like regret sharing it. Like I've shared most of my mental health story. There's still a few topics that I want to like dive deeper in on, like my hospitalization and darker subjects. I just don't know how that will do with like YouTube's platform right now and how like mental health friendly they are, because I know that your channel can like get demonetized for the most random things, so I'm just trying to be careful about that. I've shared multiple relationships and opened up my audience and my own like memories that I've captured to like boyfriends that may not be my boyfriend forever. So you would think among all those videos that I would regret something, but honestly I don't think I have any regrets, because they're all like captured moments in time. And even videos like with my ex-boyfriend, I go back and I'll watch. They were like happy times. I don't know, it's just like looking at how happy I was and being like, wow, 2017, cool. So no, I don't think I have any yet that I regret. Do you like cars? I'm not a big car person. I definitely have like the few that I wouldn't mind having, but I don't know a lot about cars. What type of car that you drive does not matter to me. If a guy like tried to impress me by telling me what car he drives, I wouldn't really know what the car was, so it wouldn't mean anything to me. What is your happy place? I have a couple. I wrote down in my journal a list of all the places that felt like home a few years ago. Off the top of my head, I remember it was my grandmother's garden, my high school art room, the chapel in my high school, and the office of my old therapist. But going off of that and thinking like a happy place currently, LA, just the first thing that comes to mind. It's always there. It will forever be my happy place. I have it tattooed on my body. So it just holds a lot of like really youthful, really exciting, like happy youthful memories, and I just always feel like a better version of me when I'm there. I feel inspired. I am someone that thrives on sunshine and like warm weather, so that's why like I take so much vitamin D during the winter here in Minnesota, because the weather can really bring me down and I just don't feel like the same girl as I do in the summertime versus winter here. here. So being in California, it just always makes me feel like the best version of myself. I just hate how far away California is to my family and like everything that I know, because I've had a few really scary flights that have made me kind of afraid to fly again. And so that's like the one thing holding me back. That and money, basically. California is expensive. I really love this next one. How much have you grown as a person in the last year, and how are you doing better? I have grown so much. I feel like I've grown beyond what you can grow in a year just in this last year of my life. A year ago on this very date, it's December 21st right now, it's the shortest day of the year. I remember that because exactly a year ago was the last time that I saw my ex-boyfriend. He bought us tickets for the show that I would see with my grandmother every single Christmas that like he and I started to go to, just like a Christmas Carol type of play here in the Twin Cities. After we broke up, he told me that he bought us these tickets a while ago and he still has them, like would I want to still go with him even though we're not together? And I said yes. Turns out he bought them after we broke up, which I kind of figured. Yeah, basically he just bought us these tickets to see the show even after we broke up to try to like get back together. But at that point I had already moved on and he kind of sensed it. I was like dodging him left and right for hugs and stuff. He kind of like caught on, so he finally just asked me if I had like been with anybody else afterwards. And we were broken up, you know, but it was kind of like, I guess it was 2 months after we broke up, so like soon but not too soon. And as soon as he like found out I had, that was like gates closed. Like I knew it was completely over. And I was writing my journal later that night about what had happened, and I realized that it was winter solstice and that it was the shortest day of the year. And it was like such a big moment for me because I knew that it was only gonna get like brighter and better from there, and that it was such a good ending. Like we met on the darkest day of the year. Like it was an ending, it was closure, it was dark, it was a dark time. What was I getting at? Oh my gosh, how have I grown in a year from now? Yeah, so it's a really good time like mark a year ago to like being the last time that I saw someone that was like in my life who I thought was my everything, to like a year later how much has happened. Like Tyler and I started dating so soon after. It was crazy, and he wasn't the guy that I was with when my ex asked, if that makes sense. That was someone else. But like 2019 had just started and I like swore to myself that I would be single for all of 2019, just focus on me, girl boss and all of that. And as soon as I made that promise, he showed up on my door. The rest was history. And my roommate moved out a year ago in December too. So this was like the first year of living completely on my own. First year out of school because I graduated last December. Wow, I'm just realizing that like how much ended at the end of last year. Like I finished college, a relationship, living on my own, all of that combined. I feel like I really grew up a ton this year. I've learned how to be alone really well. I've become a lot more introverted and selective with the people in my life. I don't put up with BS. If you are toxic, if you are back talking me to my other friends, you're blocked, you're done. I'm not gonna like, put up with that. So I blocked a lot of people this year. I just feel like I've matured a lot, and I know that I'm still young and immature and I have a ton more growth to go through, but I definitely feel like I've grown up a ton this year. Oh, I've gotten a lot more like smart with my money. I'm such a spender. If I want something, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it. But living on my own in this 2-bedroom apartment, dealing with student loans, like I shared with you how much I have to pay every single month just to like live this life. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it above as well as down below. Because of that, I've had to get like really good with managing my money and budgeting and not frivolously spending quick. That was a big part of my growth this year, and how I'm doing better just by like learning it's okay to be alone, valuing my time alone, taking care of myself. I think it was last weekend Tyler and I were like hanging out because we usually just spend like all weekend together unless someone has work or plans, which is kind of rare. But like Saturday morning, I remember telling him like, I think I just need to go back to my apartment for a few hours until our date night tonight because we were gonna go bowling, because I could sense that like I needed alone time just to refuel. Like I wanted to journal, I wanted to catch up on YouTube, I wanted to edit, I wanted to read, I wanted to like clean my apartment. And I was like, I think I just need like time by myself so that I can focus on me and be a better version of me, so then I can be a better girlfriend for you later. That was such a rambly answer. Do you lift weights? Nope. What is your favorite place to shop for casual clothes? I don't do a lot of like shopping. Like the last time I shopped for clothes at actual stores that weren't secondhand was 2 Black Fridays ago. Fast fashion has just like really turned me away from the clothing industry. Like I don't want to support it, and I don't like spending that much money on clothes anymore. So I get like most of my wardrobe from Goodwill or other thrift stores unless I'm traveling. Like I got this yellow navy pure sweatshirt in Chicago. If I'm traveling, I get like things to remember the trip by. So like half my closet is like thrifted, and then the other half is just sponsored items that I got to do haul videos with on YouTube. Oh my god, I cannot believe it didn't come to me sooner. But Brand New Melville, that's like the one store that I love. We don't have one here. When I'm living my best life in LA, I'm that LA bitch. That's that Brandy. Favorite 90s Nickelodeon game show. I was not loved as a child. We did not have Nickelodeon or cable. I had to watch Nickelodeon at my neighbor's house. Favorite pizza topping combo, cheese or pepperoni? How do you feel about cruises? I've never been on one, but I feel like I would be really panicky the whole time, that just because we're in the middle of nowhere. Like I have a fear of flying over the ocean, so I feel like being in the ocean might also be kind of scary for me. Are you still going for your realtor's license or to grad school? I don't know. So a few months ago I made a video with like what my plans were after I stopped serving. I kind of just wanted to like focus on like YouTube and babysitting and other ways to make money, and going to get my realtor's license with my mom, who is a licensed realtor, or she was, and then she would have to renew her license with me. That was an idea that popped up, and my mom is the type of person that gets really obsessed with an idea right away, will talk about it for like weeks on stop, and then slowly the passion and the like urge to do it dies down. The one like metaphor or example that I can think of is like starting a painting, getting all of the paints out, preparing, like drawing the background or whatever, and then never finishing the painting. There's nothing wrong with it. I know it very well. My mom has always had that type of personality where she wants to start something, but rarely does she finish. I kind of knew like when we started talking about getting our realtor's license together that it probably like wouldn't happen, but I wanted to put it out into the universe because it's something that I would want to do, and it's something that I still want to do, but I know that I wouldn't do alone. Like if my mom doesn't do it with me, I don't think I would go by myself, just because she has been a realtor for so long and she knows so much. I'd want to do it like with her guiding me, just having me like help her until I'm ready to stand on my own. It's not off the table, but I don't know if I see my mom really following through. Also, my dad, her husband, isn't really that supportive. He doesn't want us to do it. It's kind of dangerous in his head, which I get, because when you're a realtor, like your name is out there, your number's out there, people know where you are, and it can attract a lot of like creeps having two like young pretty girls out there. And I guess there's a case where a realtor got murdered during an open house. My dad always thinks about that, and he doesn't want us like by ourselves in an open house, so he's just trying to protect his girls. I understand that, so we aren't really getting like that push from him to go do it either, so I don't know. Like we might, but I don't really see it happening. Grad school is something that like all through school I knew I wanted to go through with, because I graduated my bachelor with an English degree and creative writing and all of that, and I knew that if I wanted to take that into a career, I'd want to get my master's for it. But by the end of my bachelor's degree, I was so done with like the college environment. I didn't feel the same passion and like push to read and write the same way that I did in other settings like my high school, and I was losing that sense of self because it was in a way being forced down my throat, I guess. So I just knew I needed a break. Also, when I was like starting to apply to grad school my junior year and see all the schools I wanted to go to, I was planning to apply to UC Irvine, Santa Barbara, UCLA, and like all LA schools, because my ex and I at the time, it was like a really good plan. We were gonna move out there together, and his job would have covered like all the expenses if they relocated him. So that was kind of like the plan. And then once he and I broke up, it became a lot harder for me to really like imagine how I would get myself out to grad school. If I was going to grad school, I would want to go to my dream school so that I wouldn't like mediocrely just be sitting in a lecture hall locally being like, wow, this isn't the school that I wanted to go to. I'm not happy here, and I'm paying so much more money. Like student loans are so expensive, and it's ridiculous how much I'm paying every single month to pay off my education. I learned through trying to apply to grad school, or starting the process, I mean, that you don't get as much financial aid in grad school. By that point, you're considered like a grown adult. So that was discouraging. And then for my position, I'd have to take a test, and I cannot remember what it's called, but it's for like reading and writing, more of the liberal arts grad schools. And it was like the SAT process all over again. And I was like, wow. So I was kind of intimidated. And then I really just had to wonder, like, Makayla, like, do you really need this? Do you need this for your career, or do you need this just as status to say that you have your master's? Because it would have put me in so much more debt that I could not afford. I wasn't sure how I was going to live or get out to California, and I was so burnt out by the time that I did graduate that going back to school just did not sound like something I wanted, and I don't think it would have made a difference in the outcome. Like, I don't feel the same desire to teach the way that I did before, and honestly, like, I had such amazing English teachers growing up that I really just wanted to like be just like them and hopefully like inspire or be the light to a student someday the way that they were to me. But now, and this is like so sad for me to even say, I don't want to like be in a school setting because of how many school shootings there are. It's just too terrifying to me. Even in college, like the last 2 years, I would skip some days because I would get such bad anxiety, and then I would freak out and wonder like, oh my god, what if this is an anxiety? What if this is like intuition? So then I would just skip because I'd be so afraid of an attack on the school. So I just don't want to be in a school setting anymore. And so yeah, dreams, ambitions, goals, life changes. I started this YouTube channel in college, and I'm just gonna try to see where this goes. Like, it's not completely off the table, but right now I'm not actively pursuing either one. Favorite Disney movie? Growing up, my favorite Disney princess movies were Anastasia, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast. As I got older and I started to analyze why my younger self loved them so much, I think it's because they were all very, very sharp, strong women that weren't really like seeking love. They were seeking more than their prince. They were just really strong women that like loved to read and wanted independence, and to this day, those are like my favorite. Those are all of the questions that I got. It was kind of like a last minute spontaneous idea for Q&A, but thank you so much if you saw that story and sent in a question. I really appreciate it. If you want to send in a question next time, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe so you don't miss it. But it is almost 2 a.m. I'm back on like a nocturnal schedule ever since I got really sick because I was sleeping all day, and I was also up all night with like chills and fever and coughing, so then I had to like catch up on sleep. Today I slept in until like 1:30, so it's gonna be hard to get back into my normal routine of waking up at 9. Hopefully I can fix that before Christmas, otherwise it's gonna be really painful waking up at 8 a.m. to open presents with my siblings. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. I'm not sure when my next video will go up, just with everything going on, but I'll definitely keep you posted. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you as soon as I can with my next video. Good night. Say good night, Marnie. Guys, she sleeps there every night. She's on the top, like, back pillow. I'll sleep right here, and she'll be above me all night. It's the sweetest thing. I have to go take my inhaler now. Good night.